inspired to make a video right now about something really specific that kind of has come to my attention today, and I'm hoping that what I share in this video could potentially help some people, especially if they're trying to create some change in their life right now. And you know what, like, I just realized this week, like, I've been going through a lot myself, a lot of transformational shit, and I realized that I really do withhold from sharing too much information. Like, if you follow me on social media or know me, I obviously do share like bits here and there about like how to transform yourself and transform your life and all this stuff, but I do honestly hold back a little bit. Like, I don't do it sort of every day, and I don't want to be too much in people's faces. Like, I guess my fear in the past is like being too preachy or too annoying. Like, I don't want people to think I'm annoying, and I've kind of reached this stage this week where I'm like, fuck that. Like, I actually don't care if I annoy you. Like, if I annoy 20,000 people in this process of sharing but help one person, like, that's fucking worth it to me. So like, I've just become a spiral practitioner. I'm studying to be a health and life coach, and I am part of like me actually stepping in to my future is owning that identity. And you know, like, my whole purpose on earth, I believe, is to help empower other people, and the way that I'm going to do that is by sharing information with them that empowers them, but also brings awareness and more knowledge to how they and their mind and body and how fucking life works. And I can't really do that if I don't share shit. So, and like, I've got my YouTube channel, which I like kind of share stuff on semi-regularly, but you know, I have been holding back a little bit. So this is also, I'm going to share something very specific in this video, but this is also a video to say, fuck that past identity of like being scared about oversharing or annoying people, or fuck that. If I have something to share that I think is going to help somebody, I'm going to share it. So in today's video, or in this video, what I really want to talk about is why we would rather suffer than change. So it sounds pretty crazy, right? Or like, why would we choose to suffer instead of change? But this is something we all do, whether we are aware of it or not. So the reason that this is kind of brought to my attention, and the reason I really felt like sharing something, is because I have a client at the moment who is about to start going through the spiral process with me. And so the agreement is all signed, all the questionnaire and everything is filled out. And then once that's done, and obviously, you know, her body and her subconscious and her mind is aware that, you know, she's moving in a direction that could instigate, or it's going to instigate a lot of change and dig up a lot of suppressed stuff and bring awareness to a lot of stuff that's underneath. Her body is going into full like panic attack mode, like feeling a lot of fear, feeling a lot of panic, feeling a lot of anxiety. And then with that comes, you know, the mind chimes in and starts you know, second guessing the decision and all of that. So believe it or not, this is really, really common. And this is why we kind of self-sabotage a lot in life. So I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you decided you want to change, right? You decided you wanted to get on a new diet, you decided you want to exercise, you decided you want to change your job, you decided you want to commit to studying something, or go do a course, or go to do something on the weekend. And you know, some people are really good at committing to stuff like that and following through, but for a lot of people, they'll commit to something like that, and then it's like, you know, you commit to it. I don't know if you've ever had this happen. This is a fucking story of my life. Commit to a diet, and then, or commit to eating healthy or eating well, and then you just like fucking eat worse than ever. Or like commit to like exercising every day or regularly, and then just literally exercise less than ever. Or you decide you want to do this course, and then you make up all these reasons why it's not the right time, or the money, or maybe that's not what you're supposed to be doing, and then you back out of it and don't commit to it. or you commit to going to something on the weekend that maybe is like a little bit out of your comfort zone but could be really fun, and then the panic kind of sets in, and then you make up all these really great excuses, like justify in your head why you can't go or why you shouldn't go, and then you don't go. So we do this a lot in life, and when we're trying to change our lives and create new behaviors and create new habits and move in a direction that we know we actually do want, that's going to move us away from our suffering, move us away from the current reality which is causing us so much unhappiness, we make these decisions about going in this new positive direction, and then it's almost like we completely sabotage ourselves and go backwards, or keep ourselves where we are. And this can be really frustrating, but there's actually a really good reason for why this happens. And the fact is that humans would rather, the way that the brain works is that it's like we would rather die than change. Like we would rather suffer than have to change. And there's a part of the brain that's called the critter brain, and basically this part of the brain was really useful, hundreds, thousands of years ago when we were cavemen or whatever. And it basically senses anything that is danger and keeps us away from danger. So to this part of our brain, anything that is new, anything that involves change, anything that is unknown, or the destination is unknown, the outcome is unknown, it senses as danger, and it will do whatever it can. It will do whatever it has to do to keep us away from that unknown and that danger. So yes, it was useful hundreds of years ago, but now it's, it means well, but it's really fucking a lot of shit up for us, because now it's like what it senses as the unknown and as the danger is actually what we so desperately want. It's the changes that we want. It's the life that we want. And so what will happen is that you'll make a decision about going in a new direction, or making change or committing to something new, and the outcome is really unknown. And anyway, the brain senses this as danger, and then you'll get a physical response in the body which will justify that, or kind of be in line with that. So it will heart rate increases, adrenaline, sorts of things, and then that will present in the body as like panic, anxiety, fear, stop, run away, do the opposite of what you're doing. And then the mind will come in, the thinking mind will come in, and it will justify the sensations in the body. So then your mind will start feeding you really good excuses of why you should not do that thing, even though you want to do it, and that it is scary, and that we should probably just stay here, we shouldn't go over to there where there's change. And anyway, and then we fucking self-sabotage. So what I've come to realize through my journey and a lot of my personal development is that although we might be in a state now in our reality which is really unhappy, and perhaps we have a lot of trauma, and we live in this state of trauma and in a place where we don't want to be, trauma and suffering, for a lot of people, they've been there so long in their life that it's comfortable. These stories that we hold on to about our trauma and who we think we are, I'm just self-conscious, or I'm just not confident, or I've just got really low self-esteem because my mum this and this, or it's just because this traumatic thing happened to me as a child, and I've just got anxiety, and I've just got depression, and I've just got this, and I've just got that. And all these stories that we hold on to and cling to, which keep us where we are, whilst part of us kind of doesn't want to be there, we've been there so long, a lot of us, that it's comfortable. And we would rather stay within that comfort because we know it, even though it's painful, even though it leads to suffering, we would rather stay in that place of comfort, because although, maybe that trauma is horrible and those stories are horrible and they keep us in a place that we actually don't want to be, it's fucking comfortable. We know it there. We know what life is like there. We know how to go through the day there because we've done it for so long. We know it's predictable. We know how we're going to feel. We know what life is going to be like. It's comfortable. And change is uncomfortable. Change moves us into a direction that we don't know about. It's unknown, and the body and the mind and the brain senses that as danger, and it would rather keep us in a place of comfort than discomfort, basically. And so I think it's really important that when you are trying to create change in your life, that you become aware of the way that the brain works and the way that the mind works, and how it likes to self-sabotage you and the changes that you're trying to instigate. And so when you are trying to create change in your life, and then you start, this fear response kicks in, and then your mind starts making up all these reasons about why to like stop going in that direction of change, and go, you know, back to the comfort zone and where you've been for so long. It's really important to become aware of that, and that's so that you can, you know, thank your brain for trying to keep you out of danger, but actually staying where we are is going to be more painful than the change itself. So I think, I don't know, as we evolve and as we master ourselves, like, I don't really know if the brain ever stops working this way. I think it becomes, or if we just gain more awareness of the way that it works, and then gaining more awareness of it leads to our ability to act from a place that's in line with our higher self, as opposed to acting out of a reaction to the way that the brain functions. So I don't really know, because I haven't gone that far yet. But for me, what I know is becoming more aware of how my brain likes to function and brain likes to work, especially when I'm trying to change myself or change my life. It allows me to go, okay, so I'm having these thoughts or having these feelings or this anxiety or this fear or this panic because my brain is sensing this new direction and all this new stuff as dangerous. Now I have the ability to go, this isn't dangerous. Now, thank you, brain, for trying to like help, but you're not fucking helping. You're actually taking me away from what I want. And then I feel that pain, I feel that fear, and I feel that worry of the unknown, and I just do it anyway. And so I really wanted to make a video on this, because I see so many people who are like, this is where I am in my life. I've got all this pain, I've got all this suffering, I've got all this trauma, all these stories, you know, about why I am the way that I am, why I'm where I am, and why I can't move forward. You know, they say they want change, but they keep in this place of pain. And you might be one of those people that, you know, you say you want change, yet you're keeping yourself in this place of suffering. And that's because there's part of you that actually thinks that that's more comfortable. It would rather keep you there than change, because at least, while it might fucking suck, you know what life is like there. And then anything outside of that, it's like, who are you? Who are you without that trauma? Who are you without those stories? Who are you without that pain? It's like but the thing is, it's like you get to decide who you want to be without all of that stuff holding you back. And that's kind of where you need to go. I know that shit things probably have happened to you. I know that, you know, maybe your mum and the way that she treated herself led to your self-esteem issues and body image issues. And I know that, you know, the way that your dad spoke to you or whatever led to this sort of problem and that sort of problem. But you have to understand that those are all stories that keep you where you are, and you need to let go of that in order to move forward. I'm not saying that you shouldn't acknowledge them and that they don't mean anything, but it's not your fault, a lot of stuff that have happened to you in your past, but it is your responsibility to do something about it now. And if you want to change yourself and change your life, you need to let go of who you think you are. You need to let go of all the past trauma and stories, and let that go and create a new sense of self. But it's easier said than done. I know that, and that's where like the spiral thing I've been trained in can be really fucking helpful for letting go of that story, those stories that hold us back. But anyway, I'm digressing. The point of this video was to kind of let you know a little bit about how the brain works and why even when we're trying to change and move in a positive direction, we hold ourselves back. And that's because the mind and the body likes to be comfortable. Anything outside of the comfort zone, it senses as danger. And so in a lot of cases, what it will sense as danger is new positive life changes. And so then the body and mind will respond and do whatever it has to keep you in your old state. Sorry, stop sign. And I just, when I became aware of this and how my mind was working, it gave me like, I realized what my mind was doing and what my body was doing. And when I had that awareness, I was able to go, okay, this is happening because my brain, my body is sensing this is danger. Now I have the ability to counteract that and choose thoughts and choose action that fuck that off and take me in this new direction. So I just wanted to kind of share that, because if you are trying to create change in your life, or if you've decided to commit to something, maybe a new course or a new lifestyle change, and you're really excited about it, and then all of a sudden in comes the things that justify why you shouldn't do it and why it's not the right decision, don't listen to that, because I mean, it's trying to do the right thing by you, but it's gonna fuck you up. So that's pretty much it. I think like the main thing is that, as you go through life, pain is necessary, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So you get to choose. You don't get to choose whether you experience pain. And pain's not bad. Pain's part of life, but suffering is optional. So, but a lot of us have become so used to suffering that it is our normal, and our brains and bodies would like to keep us in what's comfortable, as opposed to the unknown and the uncomfortable, which is often the life that we want and the self that we want. So I just thought I'd share that. But if you want any more information on this, or please let me know. And I would just encourage you all to, as you go through life and are trying to make changes, if you start to like self-sabotage and like go completely the opposite direction of the change that you want, this is probably why. So it is your brain trying to keep you safe, but your brain is often not very fucking helpful. Good timing. I've just gotten where I need to go. All right, I'm gonna go now. Bye.